Is the local church of the New Testament a representation of the storehouse as found in Malachi chapter 3? Among those who believe in the Christian obligation to tithe, that is, give 10% of your income to the church, it is claimed by many that the local church is a representation of that storehouse.
Local church, which is a New Testament representation of the Old Testament storehouse.
So in Malachi chapter 3, what you have is God rebuking the children of Israel for not paying their tithes as they were required to do by their law. And in essence, as it says, they were robbing God. And God says to bring their tithes to the storehouse that there may be food in His house. And it is claimed that, well, Christians go to the church, the local church, to get their spiritual food, but the New Testament never makes this connection. And it doesn't even work. The tribe of Levi had no inheritance of land like the rest of the nation of Israel, and they did not have normal careers. So the tithe was something God required from the rest of the people as a tax to support the Levites and their livelihood. They were supported by the tithes. This is what the tithes was for, and it was paid. It was food stored in the storehouse. But the idea that the Christians go to the local church to get fed spiritually doesn't work unless you wanted to say the Levites were paying tithes to feed themselves. That's not the way that works. You see, any money that we give to the local church really would be for the leadership, the upkeep of the building. In many cases it is done that way, and for supporting other people like the preachers and the teachers and even the poor. But it's not the idea that we go and pay tithes because we get our spiritual food. We would be supporting somebody else. But that's not the idea of the storehouse. It stored what was paid by others to support the Levites. The children of Israel did not go to the storehouse to get fed at all. Furthermore, in the New Testament, the local church consists of people. It's always a reference to people. The church is never a reference to a building. And so what would the people, the local church, even be storing? It would have to be storing, in our case, money. That would be what we give in today's time. But we don't store that even. It's stored usually by banks. If you were going to call anything a local house, it would really be a storehouse, it would be a bank. More importantly, the idea that Christians are to give generously and support those who labor among them, such as evangelists, pastors, preachers, is true indeed. But in all the many passages in the New Testament that reference Christians doing this, not a word is ever stated about a tithe or any specific amount. It's always out of the generosity of one's heart, as we decide in our heart. And the Christian is never obligated to tithe.